This, imagine the worst possible imaging system you've ever been in. And that is basically what you're trying to get out of. The players are playing these tiles. It's a tile placement game. And we each take turns matching up the colors, like black on black, and then white on white. We each take turns placing one. First person to get it off the board wins.
It's like driving in Chicago.
It's exactly like driving in Chicago, yes. But the tiles go over each other. So if someone has turned you around and you're going completely the wrong way, you can just build over the other road.
I see.
Kind of like an overpass. And you can just keep on building over, it doesn't matter. I had one time I spun around like 5 times and I finally got off. But this is 4 people, yes. Can you play with 4? Yes, you can. I've actually played 2-player games. It's a lot of fun. It really, really is. 4-player makes it more chaotic. The more people, the more tiles you put on there, the more screwed over you get.
You could probably play it by yourself if you were really bored.
I mean, this game, the longest game I've played has been 20 minutes. And that was with 3 people.
I'm tempted to have a game with you now. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead. Scoot over a little bit.
New stuff.
And just like that one, you will not draw back up. So it limits what you're able to do.
Right here where my regular pockets stop.
And
these pockets for your lucky hand.
Alright, you can go ahead and swim.
Just don't go swimming with it.
Yeah, so if you sign up for these or follow us on Facebook,
Dwarven Tavern.
have anyone
follow the road and you can
Oh, very cool.
I'm trying to turn it around.
Have you ever seen, there was a game that was here probably about 10 years ago. It's called The Game of the Past. And it was kind of a
game that we made. It's a game called Suro now, where it's the same thing. You're dragons, you start at the edge, and your goal is to stay on the board. So you're moving around, and you can actually see that they played it as part of a 3-game multi-game on tabletop. But yeah, you play and it's Asian themed. It's called Suro. You play the piece, and it travels along the path, and you're trying to stay on the board and not have your dragons collide.
Okay, that's very cool.
Right.
This was very similar, and it's maybe a 4 or 5 minute game because they
exactly.
throw their tiles down and send other people.
Well, see, and what's interesting, people always look at this because it's tile laying and the path thing. They're always like, oh, it's like Suro. But the funny thing is, it's actually like the complete inverse to Suro.
Right.
Because, and even this one, because you can play your tiles on anybody. You're trying to get off the board, not stay on it.
Right.
You own your own road, so nobody can use your path, and you only move when the tile is played, so you don't the paths aren't continuous. So you're building the road as you're moving along. So it's really interesting because it's like, well, it's like Suro in that it's the complete inverse to it. Which when I designed this, I didn't even know Suro existed. But everybody kept looking, going, hey, have you seen Suro? Hey, that sounds like Suro. Have you played Suro? And I'm like, I'm gonna have to find this game somewhere. And so I looked up and I'm like, oh, that's nothing like my game, except that we're laying tiles. So it was, and it was, but I really got where people were going with this. So it's really interesting. So I used that as the comparison. When I'm playing, I'm like, well, you're a Suro, right? And I think the exact opposite.
Right. And the good thing about it is if you like those kind of path-laying games, you love it.
Right.
So even though it's not anything like the game, because we love Suro and we love the game of the door, not Suro.
I'll give you a hug. I'll sign that.
We like it.
Awesome.
When I saw this with
And that's the thing, it's really fun, and the point of this one is that it's really supposed to have those kind of gotcha moments where like, oh, turned him around, and then they're like, oh, you thought you did, but I luckily had this piece I couldn't use, but you made me able to use it. If you just left me alone, I wouldn't have gotten off the board. And we played a game earlier with me, her, and another like person who wanted to demo it. We played one where that's exactly what happened. She's like, oh, I gotta turn him, and so she played one, and he's like, oh, sweet, I can win now, because he wouldn't have been able to make it otherwise.
That's cool.
Before we put it up on Kickstarter.
Yeah, and the more people you get, the more crazy it gets, and like you can even stack up and like spin around and around and around. Yeah.
Right.
And here's how the basic game works, right?
And I will post that post so everyone can follow.
Look at that.
Okay. So here's how the game works. You have 3 types of arguments you can make. So do you guys do game reviews on your site?
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
You're doing one right now.
Oh, sweet. I love it. Okay, so this is Read Your Brains. Like I said, licensed from Jonathan Colton. We're not like Glee. We're not stealing his work and being like, oh, you should thank us. We actually contacted him in advance, got the contract, got his approval. He's a real nice guy.
Have you been? Things all right for me, except that I'm a zombie now.
Okay, so this is the way the game works, right? So it's kind of mechanically, it's kind of a cross between war and rock, paper, scissors, in that if I play an argument, you're arguing about whether the zombie can eat the human, just like what the song is, right? So I would play this and I would make an emotional argument, because that's what the heart means, or I could make an aggressive argument or a logical argument. Okay? And then this is the value of the argument, right? And now you would have to beat that. Right? And that's where the war aspect comes in. However, there's also a rock, paper, scissors in that the cards will get a penalty or a bonus based on what you're playing against. Okay? So this is an emotional argument. So this one gets a +2, so it can beat it. This one gets a -2, so even though it's a 4, it's only a 2 against the zombie. So it would actually lose, so you couldn't play this one. And then this one is a 4, which doesn't get a penalty or a bonus, so it would just be a 4, right?
Okay.
So you would play that, and so you could play this, okay? Now, that seems awesomely compelling, right? No. It's war, you know? I mean, you could just play war. Here's where the game gets where it goes. You actually have to make the arguments. So, if I want to play this emotional appeal, I would have to make an emotional appeal and say, Mr. Human, I'm so hungry, and honestly, you could do a good deed and feed a poor hungry zombie. Please give me your brain, right? And then the human would look at it and be like, well, that's a very compelling argument, Mr. Zombie. Unfortunately, if I gave you my brain, I'd be dead, so I couldn't do other good deeds, so I don't think that's a good idea. And then the zombie could look at that and be like, oh, well, you know what? Well, screw you and your good deeds. I'm hungry. I'm going to climb up there and rip your head off, because I made an aggressive argument, right? And then, you know, the human would come back and he could try, but now he can't do it, right? But if he had this right here, you can play a pair, not 3 of a kind or 4. You can play at least a pair, as long as they match the same type of argument. So you could play this, and what you do is, you basically set them like that. 4 + 2 is 6, and then you apply the bonus or penalty once. So this is a 6, that's a 6, but it gets a +2, so it's really an 8. So then I could come back and I would say, now Mr. Zombie, really, we were having a wonderful conversation. Did you have to start with ripping my head off? That really hurt my feelings. And then the zombie could come back and, well, you know what? That's a 6, this is a 5, +2 is 7. And he goes back and he goes, okay, that's a good point, Mr. Human, except that when was the last time you apologized to the cow for eating it as a hamburger? So you're my food, should I really have to apologize? And at that point, the human can't respond, so the human's like, well, okay, good point. So the zombie wins a point. And then you draw back up to 5 cards, and you do it again. The first person to win 5 total arguments wins the game, or you can run the other guy out. Yeah, it's a sweet game because it's really fun to watch also.
Yeah, war with